Guys, gals, internet. Every once in a while, you get a game that is so revolutionary that it just must be replicated. This is one of those replications. But no, for real though, totally awesome Battlegrounds. Oh, sorry. Totally accurate Battlegrounds is a free-to-play, physics-based battle royale game, and is an obvious satire slash knockoff of PUBG. And it has really wonky movement. The shooting is even wonkier, but what I give this game its charm to me. PUBG normally takes itself so seriously, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but rather it gets exhausting after a while. Where this game is just the opposite. For fuck's sakes, their take on the paratrooper method of launching into BR games is being shot out of a goddamn flying train. You are living artillery. How awesome is that shit? See, now, this game, where if you've played other Battle Royale games, it's pretty self explanatory. You go in, you land, get some gear, kill people. This game, it's basically the same thing, but there's some nuances to it aren't exactly as obvious. I was going to go on and say that there isn't really a tutorial, but what Battle Royale game really does have a tutorial? And the only difference is I feel like this game really needs it. Because I see every game almost at least 2 or 3 people launching themselves out of the train into the ground, nowhere near any loot, right at the beginning. And frankly, it's pretty hilarious, but that stuff should probably be explained a little bit better. I know it's just I guess, is it in early access? I'm not even sure. But as far as gameplay goes, once I got a hang of all the controls, I actually found myself enjoying this game quite a bit. The gunplay is really wonky, but it feels really well and fits really well to the game's style. It feels right for how obvious the game gives a shit. And after a couple of matches, you can get the shooting system down, and shooting people really isn't that hard after a while. At least from a distance. At close quarters combat, that definitely changes. Close fights are quite chaotic and difficult to manage. The gun physics are based on movement, and so when you move, your gun moves with you. A lot. Like, a lot. And so when you're jumping around and strafing all over the place, so are your bullets. And it makes shooting people at close range very difficult. It almost feels like a one of those middle ground old school shooters, not quite like right after arena shooters, like Day Defeat Source almost, where um, if you're shooting, you're not moving, and if you're moving, you're not shooting, and if you are shooting while you're moving, you're certainly not going to hit anything. The good news about this is there are tons of weapon types in this game. Like, I mean a lot. Rifles, SMGs, pistols, grenade launchers, rocket launchers, snipers, DMRs, swords, axes, knives, batons, all kinds of grenades. I think you get it. There's a lot of weapons in this game, and it's actually one of my favorite parts about the game. And the good thing about it too is the weapons range from Western to World War II to almost futuristic, where specifically the grenades are mostly futuristic with having a cage grenade, an implosion grenade, things like that. They're just fun and cool to mess around with. As far as the ring goes, it feels just alright. It's definitely better than PUBG's, because PUBG's ring is just terrible. But it definitely has that sense of grandeur with these giant stone pillars moving in on you and slamming into the ground and shaking the whole map. It feels good. Oh, God.
I see the blue line of where I gotta go. Oh, God. Well, fucking pick my fat ass up! Oh, God.
Here they go.
Oh, God. They're making their ascent. Oh, God, it's no! It's gonna close right where I'm trying to run.
I made it.
I think I'm gonna make it. Oh, God, no! Don't do this to me, God. Let me live.
Come on, Brad! Come on!
Oh, God.
You made it! You did it!
Oh, God, we gotta keep running.
It doesn't seem to move too fast. I don't think I've only been caught by it a couple of times, and it was due to neglect or just being way too far out from the ring when it spawns in. But as far as getting to the ring, running isn't that difficult, and there are a couple of vehicles. Specifically, there are two vehicles: a Mustang type car vehicle, and then there is a helicopter that doesn't fly. Seriously, it doesn't fly, or I couldn't figure out how to at least. Uh, I looked in the controls and it said Q and E were to make vehicles move up and down, but it didn't do anything. Regardless, it's still pretty cool to fly around in a helicopter just off the ground at hyperspeed, barely dodging rocks and trees. Now, obviously, I've made it clear I enjoy the game, but it's not all good. There's definitely some bad there. The game was definitely made to be clunky. It's not made for you to have perfect aim and perfect movement. But the optimization, it could be better. I have a pretty beefy computer, and I was getting a bit of frame lag during fights, and even just in like some of the bigger areas. Nothing that wasn't too unmanageable, but it's still annoying. You'd like to see improvement on that. Uh, my second gripe would be to say that the finding weapons is kind of difficult, or at least good weapons. Uh, my first couple of games that I played in this, it took me a while of going through a couple of houses to find even any weapon at all, even a melee weapon. But we're nothing new to that if you're a PUBG player. Sometimes you have to search through 6, 7 houses just to find anything. So that's nothing new. Not a huge gripe. But my last gripe is definitely a big one, and I know their player base isn't going to be massive like the other BRs at the moment, but right now teaming is a huge problem. Like, I literally don't think I have died in this game so far to a single person. It's always two or more people rushing me and killing me. I've even seen teams of upward of 6 players. That seems a bit excessive. And my first experience with this definitely ruffled my jimmies a little bit. I came along 2 players in the industrial park area of the map, and I ran away. I set up an ambush in a house along the edge of the ring, and one of them ran by. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the other one to run by so I can get him in the back, and I pop out to kill him, and I turn the corner, and there's 5 dudes staring at me, and I was like, what? How is that even possible? How is a single player supposed to deal with that? Like, I understand that having everybody queue into one queue reduces queue times, but it really isolates part of your community that is solo based, and it's probably going to be the biggest part of your community, and you can't isolate that group that heavily. it, I don't mind that there's teaming in both of the queues, but you need to limit it to at least 2 or 3 max per team. Overall, I'm going to give my rating on this an impressed. I was coming into this game, I was not expecting much out of it, and I was blown away by what I was given for just basically what is a troll game. It actually turned out being a good game, and I look forward to playing it more. Right now, currently, they're having a lot of server issues, so I can't play the game, but hopefully they'll eventually mix that up, and we'll be able to play regularly without any hiccups. And I hope everybody else enjoys it. If you found this educational or entertaining or whatever, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.